Very good evening, everybody. It is 0500 UTC, and this is Patricia and David, Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, on a rather wintry, sort of mucky day here at Gulf Harbour, but nowhere near as bad as what they're getting further south. So we have not got much to talk about. Well, I haven't got much to talk about. All the boats that we were talking to are now at North Minerva by the look of it. I'd be interested to know if they did catch fish going through the pass, but I'm sure they won't be hungry at North Minerva, given that they seem to have full freezers after their trip with Mahi Mahi. Who else have we got? Oh, Moon Dust. I'm not sure that they're going to be copying us now. They are well into the Arafura Sea and really rocketing along for them without a mainsail. They are doing 5.5 knots, which is about the most that they have done since they lost it. Well, not lost it, but it's malfunctioned. They're on a course of 286 with 23 knots in southeast. So 9 degrees 10 south and 136 degrees 06 east. So they're doing very, very well. I'm sure they'll be happy. They've got family coming to visit them when they finally get to where they want to go in Indonesia. Okay, I think what I'll do is throw it open first and then we'll pass the microphone to David. Is there anyone wanting to say hello? Please call now.
Good. Tommy?
Yeah, good evening, Daryl. Presume you're relaxing in the comfort of Minerva and enjoying it. Over.
Yeah, went to that. Pop down and lovely spot and look around, get it out of my and lady with as well.
Yeah, quite a social gathering. Lady Dana doesn't stay too long because I think his family will be waiting to see him and when he gets to Fiji. So what is the weather like there, Over?
We've got northeast of around 15 knots.
Okay, David muttered yes as predicted. So it'd be nice and comfortable in there. And did you indeed catch a fish going through the pass? Over.
That's a negative for Kings and a negative for Gracias, and I think also a negative for Adamite. What about
Oh, that's not what we want to hear. Barracuda. Well, not to worry. Nobody wants that. They can feed the sharks in the in the lagoon with that one. Oh well, that's interesting. Oh well, you'll just have to wait for low tide and see what the crayfish situation is like. Is anyone going to bother getting off and moving around over?
Yeah, tomorrow's another day. Today just relax and enjoy being here and it's a bit nice place and we'll make plans tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I always love snorkeling in the sort of just inside the pass area there. There's some some quite interesting looking fish, very colourful box fishes and the like. So as long as no one has a spear gun with them, it's quite safe. They don't seem to worry you unless you're catching their fish, the sharks. But okay, well that's good. Thanks for checking in and letting us know. And greetings to all there. I'll just see if there's anybody else before I pass the microphone.
I'm working here on Fish Obviously, and we'll be heading across the south probably in the morning.
Oh, that's a quick visit. Okay, thanks David for letting us know. So you're going to head off in the morning after a good rest, and well, I'm not sure. David will have a look and maybe a comment on that. He thought he was going to be just talking about getting people out of Marsden Cove and places tonight, but I'm sure you'll have a look at that one as well, but you've probably got good information there as well. Okay, well, having said that, I will pass the microphone and see what he's got to say.
Yeah, well, it's all headwinds heading out there for the next couple of days, so hope you guys don't mind that too much. The wind's not too strong, probably about 15 knots or so. Most of the cloud, looking at the cloud imagery, satellite imagery, the cloud bands are further to your south, so that shouldn't be too bad. And for those of you that are spearfishing, though, those great reef sharks are very aggressive in that pass. So if you do have the energy to spear some fish in there, be careful. We've had quite a few cruisers that have had their encounters, if you will.
And others get out of the water.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got a number of yachts that are quite anxious to find out about another weather window to get north. And looking at the synoptic picture for today, I'm finding a high centered at about 28 south and 165 west. Very nasty depression is centered to the south of New Zealand with cyclonic wind flow all the way up to 30 south. And believe me, New Zealand is really copying that. It's very, very nasty weather to the south of us here at Gulf Harbour, but in the Wellington area and all of the South Island are getting very strong winds, lots of rain, gale force winds for sure, so it's not nice at all. Anyway, apart from that, the next high is over southeastern Australia, and supporting, by the way, this very large depression is a very, very well-developed upper-level trough that's going to sustain this big surface low, certainly through Monday the 13th. And this low is still going to be found south-southeast of New Zealand for the next days after that. And that rocking high, which I had been telling people about, which I thought was going to form and provide a means of which it would stall any bad weather systems from going east, I'm afraid it's not there anymore. It's just gone. So we are not going to have the benefit of that, that's for sure. Those, again, still in New Zealand will probably see the new surface high that will be moving into the Tasman by Wednesday. That's about 15th, and that's going to provide southwest winds for those wanting to make their break at that point. But while this looks good, by the 18th, a few days later, the high center will have slid east to around the dateline, maybe a little bit further than the dateline going east. And we're going to see a polar dip in this high. It'll be on the northwest side of the high, and polar dips are not nice because from them we find depressions forming, and that's pretty much what I think is going to happen. Roughly south-southeast of Vanuatu, this depression looks like it's going to form by around the 19th, I think. It could be before that, it could be after that. And that will be centered about 28 south and 175 east. Not a good spot for it to be in. So if it really does happen, those of you who, well, let's just put it this way, you probably don't want to be there. So it might delay your passage considerably if that's the case. Only time is going to tell if and when this is going to develop. So that's not good news for a weather window, unfortunately. We're simply and sadly going to have to wait for developments, and us here at Gulf Harbour Radio will monitor this very closely, and we'll bring you up to date as time rolls on. And by the way, this sort of weather pattern is not uncommon for June, so I'm afraid patience is in order for you all to be safe. So that's about all I have. Back to Minerva. Like I say, headwinds for quite a few days, but for those that don't care, off you go. Those that want to stay, you'll have a good time. We always love being in Minerva. It's worth spending time there if the weather is decent. It looks like it'll be all right for a few days. So enjoy that if you stay. And that's all I can think of. So I'll pass this on to Patricia. And if you have any questions or comments, come now.
Actually, I'll just make a comment myself on this use of the word polar dip. Sometimes new people out there, I know some of you seasoned folk know what a polar dip is. and are very conscious of its ramifications. But if you can imagine an anticyclone, which is always sort of, quite a nice thing to have, but if you see as you're sort of heading around in an anticyclonic direction on the outside of the anticyclone, and you stick your finger in the outer line, isobar, then if you push it in the direction of the poles, that forms a polar dip. And if it gets very significant, sometimes that can just completely, you can imagine the air flowing down and around that little dip, and eventually it can form into a closed isobar, and there's the start of your very nasty low pressure system that then tracks down in a southeasterly direction. That's sort of a rough idea of this polar dip, but it's something to be very, very aware of on a passage from New Zealand to the tropics. And in fact, it was the cause of the very nasty Queen's Birthday storm. Anyway, I haven't got much news, and I'm going to see if anybody has any questions, but a bit of news that came in today was that a yacht skipper down in Tauranga, sailboat skipper, was actually fined from being too close to a container ship coming into the port of Tauranga. He was coming down, for those that know it, near Matakana, and didn't get out of the road. Not a very good thing. He sort of ignored the 5 blasts of the horn, and there's this. He was fined because unfortunately there was a patrol boat in the area, and he was spoken to and subsequently fined. But they've quoted some measurements that I didn't actually know existed. I just thought you had to be out of the road. But anyway, you are not allowed to be in an area 500 metres in front of and 50 metres either side of large ships in a channel, such as the channel that goes eventually into Tauranga Harbour. So I thought that was quite interesting. I've never heard of a boat being fined before, but the container ship actually had to take action and diverted towards Matakana, much to the shock of the people watching from Mount Maunganui, the walkers around Mount Maunganui. Anyway, that's the only news I've got of the day. Is there anybody wanting to ask anything or make any comments? Please call now. No, all peaceful and chewing over your options for the future. So we'll leave you to it and enjoy those that are in Minerva. Enjoy your social time together, and we will be back again tomorrow night. It'll be a similarly not very pleasant day in this part of the world, but it's not as bad as it is further south from here. Cheers, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Weekly. The frequency is yours if you want it.